Mr. Bowers. Need to go on the record on that.
Yes, Your Honor.
On the record in the matter, excuse me, of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jeffrey Delmar Bowers, file number is 23-03227. Council appearance.
Jeff Radowitz on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jared Austin appearing on behalf of Mr. Bowers. He appears with us today remotely via Zoom.
Okay, today's the date and the time that is set for a probable cause conference. I have one count of possession of meth, one count of possession of narcotic, and a domestic violence second offense. How do we proceed?
At this time, Your Honor, I believe after conversations with defense, I believe we're leaving this set for preliminary exam next week. However, I believe defense has a bond motion they'd like to make.
That is correct, Your Honor. If I may.
You can proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. One of Mr. Bowers' bond conditions is there is a protection zone as it relates to the complaining witness in terms of her residence and employment. My understanding from speaking with Mr. Bowers is that the complaining witness works at Sparrow Hospital. She works a night shift. Mr. Bowers does have some serious medical conditions as it relates to his heart, and he has his doctor in close proximity to Sparrow Hospital, which would put him within the exclusion zone. So I'm just asking the court if there could be some type of modification or variance on his bond conditions that would allow him to go see his doctor, provided that he can provide proof or documentation when he needs to go, and that would not place him in violation of his pretrial release orders.
The protected person does not work in his doctor's office, does it?
No, but it's in close enough proximity that I think it would be within the exclusion zone because he is precluded from being within so many feet of where she is employed. And I think the tether or anything else would indicate that if he is within so many feet.
Correct. It's these 2,000 feet zone that was ordered at the time of arraignment. I will allow him to obviously go to his doctor's appointments if he's located in that zone during the pendency of the matter. He better have documentation that he's got an appointment, not that he's just stopping in to check on his doctor. It's better be an appointment.
I have certainly stressed that to Mr. Bowers, Your Honor, and I believe that's what.
So his doctor is at Sparrow.
I don't believe it is at Sparrow Hospital. It's in an office building, very close proximity to Sparrow Hospital.
Across the street, professional building.
Okay. What's the address of your doctor?
It's across the street from the main building. It's the professional.
From the main building? Okay.
Yeah, it's the professional building.
Okay.
And she actually works at night.
Okay. So then technically, during your appointments, she wouldn't be there anyway.
No. And plus I have to take labs, like at least two labs a week. They want me taking labs because they're testing for the medications that I'm on.
So you have to go do lab drops, but you don't have to do the lab drops at the location where she works.
No, but that one normally stays open the latest. Like I'm right now, with me not being able to be there, I don't really have best transportation. So I mean, I'm trying to work around it, but also if I take bus route or Uber, I have exclusions. So it's like it's been kind of hard.
And she doesn't work in the lab either, correct?
No, she doesn't. Everything I need to do is in the professional building.
Okay, you do lab drops, you said twice a week?
Yes.
Days, do you have a specific day that you do it?
Well, they normally let me know, like after I take the medications, they let me know when to go, and I can inform you guys or how you need to be done. I can get that documented.
I don't necessarily need it. I'm just going to note it in the file that you do have a doctor's office located within the exclusion zone, as well as You are allowed to be in the area during the times in which you're making your drops for your labs, which really shouldn't be an issue because if she works at night, she wouldn't be there. But you never know. People get called in for daytime meetings or take extra shifts, or anything could happen. And so you just make sure you keep your verification in case you encounter law enforcement for some purpose. But it is noted in our file. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Any additional matters for the record?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Nothing from the people, Your Honor.
Okay, your preliminary examination is next week, November 9th at 8:30 in the morning. That's in person at the court, okay?
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Mr. Speed, if you want to step over.
I'm confused. It is me under the influence.
That's what I was informed.
Okay, Mr. Speed, can you hear me? Mr. Speed. Well, he's not responsive. I was informed that he's under the influence, so he'll be remanded on the bond violation until we can conduct a meaningful hearing. Were we continuing? Did you have an opportunity to speak to him at all?
I did not, Your Honor. I had attempted to reach him in the previous, yeah, are we on the record?
I don't think, are we on the record right now?
We were not on the record. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Hakeem Speed, file number 23-03228FY. Appearance, please.
Jeff Brodowitz on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
And good morning, Your Honor. Jared Austin appearing on behalf of Mr. Speed, who is appearing on Zoom from the downstairs lockup.
Okay, and today was the date and the time that was set for a probable cause conference. The matter is scheduled for preliminary examination on one count of possession of methamphetamine and count 2 of police officer assault. I also have a PA 53 bond violation. My indication today was that he was taken into custody on the violation. However, he is not in a condition to proceed with a court proceeding because he was heavily intoxicated. I do note here that at the time of his arraignment, he was listed as homeless. I'm inclined to believe that that prohibited you from being able to speak with him, and you've indicated you've not had communication with him at this time.
That is correct, Your Honor. The only address we had on file for him was the homeless shelter. There was a phone number on file that I attempted to call him at. I was not able to reach him. And then when I arrived this morning, I was informed that he was in lockup on a bond violation. It appears he was taken into custody on that sometime yesterday or last night. I went downstairs in the lockup in an attempt to speak with Mr. Speed. I was informed that he was not still in a condition to where I would be able to speak with him. So I have not been able to communicate with Mr. Speed. In addition to these bond violations, Your Honor, it appears likely that he is maybe going to be arraigned on additional charges from that, maybe sometime later today. Given that, Your Honor, I would ask the court to consider maybe some type of good cause adjournment so that we can have all of his court dates on this case, the new charges, and the corresponding bond violation to all line up.
For the record, Your Honor, yes, after Mr. Austin and I were informed of the bond violation this morning, I did check our system and found that there has been a new complaint signed against Mr. Speed for, I believe it will be 2 counts of police officer assaulting, resisting, obstructing. And so that mixed with the bond violation. It was the plan here today to ask for a good cause adjournment. I believe it would be only until next week, so that both PCCs and the bond violation can be addressed at the same time for possible global resolution, Your Honor.
Okay, and I've attempted to call Mr. Speed multiple times. He's present via Zoom. I don't know. Can you hear me, Mr. Speed? Can you hear me, Mr. Speed?
Mr. Speed, she's asking a question.
What is he talking about?
Not my name.
He's
Not my
telling.
name.
Oh, he's
What's that?
rambling?
Not calling it. It's not my name. Everything's on footage. Try again. Bye.
Okay, I'm gonna find good cause to adjourn the preliminary examination, which was scheduled for next week due to our inability to proceed today because of his current state of intoxication and because of the new pending charges. It would be in the interest of judicial economy to adjourn and do all things at the same time. Gonna mute the jail, please. And so this matter will be adjourned and reset to the same time for a new probable cause conference scheduled for, did they give a new person? Okay, they haven't set the new time for his new case yet. That'll happen today at the time of his arraignment, and we'll get this reset. So that I'll treat next week as another PCC so that we can find out what the new date is and not lose track of this case. Let's see here. I'm revoking his bond pending a hearing on the bond violation. Any additional matters for today's record?
Nothing from the people, Your Honor.
Nothing additional on behalf of Mr. Speed, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, you're all set.
Thank you.
Ms. Donnelly, do you have Mr. Beaman?
Mr. Beeman's not here, Your Honor. I haven't been able to get a call. And my understanding from APA Brodowitz is that he's already in bench warrant status for candidate.
Yes, Your Honor. He had a probation violation hearing scheduled with Judge Kennedy last week that he failed to appear for.
Is the case is before Kennedy, or is it another judge and he's filling in?
Probation violation.
Yeah, I believe it was a
Probation.
probation violation, Your Honor.
Got it. Okay, did you have another one, Ms. Donnelly?
Yes, I have Mr. Moran's here. We're just gonna leave that on for next week.
Okay, we don't need to go on the record.
There is we have an offer for sobriety court, but no.
We'll call the case. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Douglas Morris Jr. File number is 22-01038FY. Council appearance.
Jeff Brodowitz on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
And Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant Douglas Morans, who is present, standing to my right.
Okay, Mr. Morris, today's date and time that's set for a probable cause conference on one count of operating while intoxicated, third offense. There is a preliminary examination scheduled on the 9th of November at 9 o'clock in the morning in person in the court. And you indicated the offer was to be screened for sobriety court.
Yes, Your Honor. That is the offer that was relayed by the people.
Is that the 54A
Yes,
sobriety
it
court?
would be the 54A sobriety court, and if that is something that Mr. Morens is interested in, we can get that process started. This process started today, Your Honor.
And is your client interested in that, or did you want to address that next week?
We are going to consider it.
Okay, so we'll continue to next week, and you can address at that time how we need to move forward with the timeline that he's going to do that, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Any additional matters for today's record?
Nothing from the people, Your Honor.
Nothing for defense.
You're all set. Thank you, sir. Any, Mr. Lewis.
Mr. Free.
Oh, On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Gregory Michael Lewis, file number 23-02745, council appearance.
Jeff Brodowitz on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Stephen A. Freeman, Your Honor, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Mr. Lewis.
Okay, Mr. Lewis, can you hear me? You're muted.
Sorry about that, Your Honor.
No problem. Today's the date and the time set for a probable cause conference on one count of animals abandoning cruelty to 10 or more, but fewer than 25. I have here that defendant was supposed to be screened for the 30th Circuit Court Mental Health Court, and we adjourned this matter. Was he able to get screened?
That screening process is still ongoing, Your Honor, so I believe another adjournment would be prudent at this time.
Another 30 days.
I think that should be sufficient.
December 7th at 8:30. December 7th at 8:30.
You said
You
the
have any
7th at 8?
questions today, sir? Yes, December
Yes.
7th at 8:30.
Yes, I do have one question, Your Honor. My one dog, Minnie, I surrendered all the dogs except for one. I was wondering if there was any chance I was ever going to get her back, or is she gone?
You were asking if you were gonna get what back?
I surrendered all my dogs except for one because I have a prescription for my mental health for a companion dog. Am I still going to get my one dog back, or are they all gone?
So his dog's in custody.
If I may,
Yes.
Your Honor, thank you very much. I have had conversations with Mr. Lewis. There were any number of these animal dogs at his property. But there was one that he was particularly fond of and that he essentially called his pet. Well, animal control took all the animals. And so he has asked me, and I have asked animal control as to whether some arrangement might be made that if they're not able to give the dog back, just that one single dog, then perhaps he could go out to the animal shelter and visit the dog. And I was informed, forgive me, I don't remember the deputy on duty. I was informed that the dog is no more.
No, I meant because I was supposed to pay a security deposit like months ago, and I've never been able to get a hold of anybody to set up a security deposit for my
We
one dog.
advised him, but this doesn't sound like he knows.
Well, I had not. I was hoping he would be here personally this morning and I could take him aside, but no, so I did not.
Okay, Mr. Lewis, I think you need to have an off-the-record conversation with your attorney so he can explain to you what's going on, okay?
Okay.
Okay, any additional matters for the record?
Nothing from the people, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, and in as much as the gentleman is on Zoom, may I, Mr. Lewis, I have your number. I'll give you a jingle after lunch and we can have a conversation. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, thanks, sir.
You're all set.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who's representing Jesse Hodges? Is he on?
I inquired with the public defender's office, Your Honor. I believe he was denied a public defender, so I'm not sure if he is.
Why is that? Did you say he was not indigent?
I don't know. I just know he was.
Okay. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jesse Hodges, file number is 23-03251 FY. Can I have your appearance, please?
Jeff Brodowitz on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Hodges, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Your Honor.
Okay, it appears that you did apply for a public defender, but you were denied. They indicated that you were not indigent, meaning you make too much money. Are you employed, sir?
I was, but I have nobody out in the world to get a hold of the call or anything, so I don't know what to do here. I can't find out or nothing, so I don't know. I can
You
get
was
attorney advice
employed?
hours. Yeah,
You said you wasn't, okay, and what, are you no longer employed?
I don't know. Since I was employed when I got arrested. So I don't know about right this second, honestly. But
Okay.
I have,
And where
I
are you
have
employed?
money. At Lewis Padnos in Lansing. I have money, but I
Okay.
can't just, I can't get to nothing because I have no person out in the world besides me, and I can't, call nobody, can't do nothing. I can't, I can't get to nothing because I have nobody to call.
Okay, well, you probably want to call a lawyer because you've been denied a public defense counsel. And so you have two
I told you.
options. You got two options. One is that you can appeal the denial, and if your financial situation has changed, you would provide information supporting that, and then maybe they'll give you a public defender. The other option is to call an attorney to represent you, find counsel to privately represent you. Otherwise, you could waive your right to be represented by counsel and represent yourself. That's not advised. You are being charged here in count 1 of aggravated stalking. And that's a felony with a maximum penalty of 5 years and or $10,000 in fines, and probation for any term of years, but not less than 5 years. And then count 2 of a police officer assault, resisting, obstructing. That's a felony. Maximum penalty is 2 years and or $2,000 in fines. And you're also being charged with an attempted interfering with electronics communication. That's a misdemeanor with a maximum penalty of 1 year. And then there's an habitual offender 4th offense notice. So that enhances your penalty for the maximum charge being life if primary offense was a penalty of 5 years or more, 15 years or less if primary offense has a penalty of under 5 years. So you have a couple options as it relates to trying to get counsel, okay? Mr. Rodimus, you have something that you want to say?
No, not on
How am I
that.
supposed to do that, Your Honor? Because I can't, I have no money in my account to call anybody. I have nobody in the world. I have money out in the world, but I can't get to it. I'm the only one that can get to it. I don't have nobody to get a hold of it. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here.
I'm not sure how to advise you as to how you're gonna make contact with anybody or how you're gonna find someone to be in contact with. That's not my position. I'm not here to tell you how to contact people. I told you what your bond was. You were arraigned. It looks like by the magistrate, and your bond is set at 10,000, 10%. And you've been denied public defense counsel. So you're gonna have to be put on your thinking cap and be creative as to how you find somebody.
I need an attorney. I can't get one.
I know you do. I would completely agree that you need an attorney. I told you what your options are. You can try to appeal the denial
How do I appeal
by
for it?
making contact. Well, none of the options that you have involve talking over me, though. None of those options exist.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Okay, so you absolutely can appeal the denial, and you can make a phone call from the jail to the public defender's office.
They will accept my call.
I can get you in a room right now with a public defender if you wanted to appeal that tonight.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay, so you hang tight. We'll get someone on Zoom to talk to you when they're available, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So we'll continue to your preliminary examination next week so that we can follow up with your status of counsel, and we'll treat it as another probable cause conference. We're off the record on this matter. You had another one, Mr. Freeman, was it you?
Yeah. Yes, Judge.
Oh, he's on here now, okay.
I'm Mr. Hodges. If we're off the record, then I don't have any difficulty contacting Mr. Watts. I'll see if I can get it.
Okay, sounds good. He wants to meet with someone today, though. Are you able to get on Zoom after? Did you have a computer with you at all?
No, I don't.
We have our iPad. If we can fix you on Zoom, can you speak to him privately?
I don't have any problem with that.
Okay.
Yes. can assist the court and keep things moving.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
And yes, Mr. Joseph is mine.
Okay, I'll call that first. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Gene Joseph Jr., file number 23-03189. Appearance, please.
Jeff Radowitz on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Stephen A. Freeman, Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of Mr. Joseph.
Mr. Joseph, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Thank you. Today's the date and the time that's set for a probable cause conference. This matter is scheduled for preliminary examination on November 9th at 8:30 in the morning. I have 1, 2, 3 counts of armed robbery, 1 count of felony firearm, 1 count of firearm possession by felon, another count of felony firearm, another count of felony firearm, another count of felony firearm, and a habitual offender fourth offense notice. Are we continuing to exam?
May it please the court, I had an opportunity to visit with Mr. Joseph last evening at the jail. And while I am always reluctant to move any court for an adjournment when my client is in jail, there is an issue that I need to flush out. And so unless there's an objection by counsel, I know that I have Mr. Joseph's consent. I would respectfully move the court to allow this matter to go forward next week with a second probable cause conference. I think I can have an answer to my question by then, and I anticipate a waiver. But I really need to flush out an issue that I have not had an opportunity to at this time.
I'll note that in the file. There's no objection from the people.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll treat next week as another probable cause conference. We'll address the timeline then if necessary, okay?
My thanks to the court.
No problem. And then we placed Mr. Hodges in a private meeting room with you. Anything else on Mr. Joseph's matter today?
Nothing from the people, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
You're all set, Mr. Joseph.
This is. No. Okay. I'll give it back to you.
I know we don't have headphones for that, do we? For that iPad? We need to request those.
Actually, yeah.
They would fit in there?
Just plug it in.
Let's see.
Don't ever get older than stop it.
No, you don't do that.
I planned.
No, you gotta
hopefully
raise
to
the
be
vote, but just.
a lot
Live
more
long
than
and prosper.
50. Yeah, well,
Jeff,
yeah,
Yeah.
there should be.
I sent an email about Dwan Bush. Did you have an objection to adjourning that jury trial?
I saw that. I apologize.
Yes.
No, it was just a pre-trial, right?
It's a jury
Or
trial.
jury trial. No, and that's, I didn't have that one. But no, I have no objection to adjourning the jury trial. Sorry.
Who's adjourning the jury trial? Dylan has another trial. Who? Dylan. Lucas Dylan, he has another trial. He's attorney. There was a final pre-trial. Probably.
Mute? Now, does Rusty have to disappear or something?
Good morning. If the attorneys could rename their device, so I can know who you are and who you represent, because it's gonna be a lot of you all on Zoom at the same time.
Judge, my apologies. I missed what you had just said. I'm sorry.
It's okay because you're already named the way I'm asking. I want you to say who you're representing so I can know who you're here for.
Thank you, Judge. Sorry about that.
No problem. Thank you.
What? If they got me not viewed anyhow.
Hey, John.
Is that church you?
No. Jerry, somebody.
Is this just for me, Dad?
Mr. Coleman, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Does your client go by the name Hank?
Yes. And I think he just connected by audio.
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Lennon, can you hear me, sir? You're muted. You're still muted, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, is your client there with you?
He is. We're,
Oh, wait a minute. Is he sitting to your right on the other side of the table?
he is. Kent, will you raise your hand?
Okay, thank you.
Are you hearing an echo?
Yes, but that's because there's two devices within a very close proximity.
Now that you know my client is here, may I turn off that device?
My judge, she's gonna want to see him.
Okay. Could I turn off my laptop then? Like all the defendants, I'm a senior citizen, so I can't fix this problem.
Lennon is on 2 devices.
Yeah, but his client is on.
I see Lennon and his client is Kent. I don't see him.
Yes,
Okay,
Your
I see
Honor.
you.
Could I have permission to turn off the one and just sit next to Kent with my laptop?
That's correct.
Thank
Do
you.
that. Which one are you gonna turn off?
I'm gonna turn off the bigger video. Thank you, Your Honor. Deanna, I need some help.
Yeah, everybody.
I still get feedback, I think.
Excuse me?
Can I put a microphone?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Closer to you,
Because why?
because our defendant's not in person.
So we're just hoping to hear.
You just hoping to hear him a little bit better.
We usually have no problem with audio back here.
Okay.
I was gonna say, it's not coming through my computer.
Okay.
That's what,
All the audio comes
yeah,
from that.
it's coming through
Okay.
there.
All right, thank you.
All right, we're on the record in the matters of the people of the state of Michigan versus William Henry Choate. File number 23-02210, people of the state of Michigan versus Stanley Grott. File number 23-02213, People of the State of Michigan versus John Haggard, file number 23-02214. People of the State of Michigan versus Myra Rodriguez, file number 23-02220. People of the State of Michigan versus Rose Rook, file number 23-02221, and People of the State of Michigan versus Kent Vanderwood, file number 23-02224. Can I have council appearances, please?
Good morning, LaDonna Logan on behalf of the people.
Morning, Your Honor. David Coleman on behalf of Mr. Choate, who is present on Zoom.
Good morning, Your Honor. Michael Bellotta on behalf of Rose Rook, who's also present via Zoom.
Derek Wilchinski on behalf of defendant Stanley Grote.
Good morning, Your Honor. Wright Blake appearing on behalf of Maida Rodriguez, P372559. She's also present via Zoom.
Good morning, Your Honor. Kurt E. Kraus on behalf of Mr. Haggard, who is appearing by on Zoom as well.
Good morning, Your Honor. Brian Lennon. I'm here with my client, Kent Vanderwood.
Okay, so today was the date and the time that was set for a preliminary examination on these matters. We've had several hearings, but one preliminary or probable cause conference in which we specifically set aside today's date for an examination. My understanding is that my office received an email indicating that it's now going to be a 2-day length of time that needs to be blocked off for us to complete this examination due to the length of witnesses and the amount of evidence that will be coming in at the time of the examination. And so there was a request to adjourn, and now we need to align everyone's schedules in order to make that happen. Is that accurate, Ms. Logan?
That is, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. And so, was there any objection from any of defense counsels as to the request for an adjournment, or was everyone stipulating to that?
No objection, Your Honor.
On behalf of defendant Grote, no objection, Your Honor.
No objection on behalf of Ms. Rose Rook.
No objection on behalf of Mr. Rodriguez.
No objection on behalf of Mr. Haggard, Your Honor.
No objection, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Vanderwood.
Very good. And so we looked at our calendar. We're now into January and February in order to set aside a 2-day block in order to complete this examination. The dates we have available or potential dates is going to be Wednesday, January 10th and Thursday, January 11th. January 30th and 31st. February 7th and 8th. Or we could potentially, I thought we had something going on in December.
That's the first that she said she was okay with putting some on those days if they can't find one.
Okay, and then it looks like we have December 13th and 14th, which is the dates that we have the other remaining co-defendants set for their exams. So let's take the January 10th and 11th, because I just don't see how I could possibly do everybody on the 13th, 14th. Does anyone have an objection or no availability on January 10th and 11th?
On behalf of defendant Grote, those are fine dates, Judge.
Your Honor, on behalf of Ms. Rook, on the 10th, I have a hearing in federal court at 3 p.m. So that would be difficult. I prefer the January 30th, 31st date.
Judge, I've informed the parties that I have another Attorney General lengthy exam in Warren, Michigan on the 10th, and I'm unavailable on behalf of Mr. Rodriguez.
Okay, so what about January 30th and 31st? Who is unavailable on that date?
Your Honor, Brian Lennon here for Kent Vanderwood. Of those proposed dates, Your Honor, January 10 and 11 is the only one that works for us. So we could go with Mr. Grote if the court were so inclined.
I don't have
Not
any
splitting
objection
this
to
up
that,
to three
Judge.
separate exams. Not holding three separate exams or exam dates on these co-defendants. You can either go December 13th, 14th with the other group, or you're gonna go with this group.
Your Honor, may I be heard just a second? On the 13th and 14th, and maybe this question could be maybe better answered by Ms. Logan. If they're going to go 2 solid days, and we appreciate the court's scheduling 2 solid days for that first one, I don't know how realistic it is, frankly, that they'll finish. And it seems to me if the first one finishes and then we order transcripts, all subsequent ones would be going much more expeditiously. But my concern is that with just 2 solid days, 11 government witnesses, and 6 loquacious lawyers or more, that one's going to need to continue, and that all these dates are going to probably need to get pushed. That's just my sense, and I was wondering if the court would be inclined to for this next group, for those who can't go on December 13th and 14th, if the court would be so inclined to kind of wait till that's done, we order transcripts and have a better idea then of how we can move the subsequent prelims much quicker, and also kind of eliminates the 11 witnesses having to kind of testify about the same things over and over. I just wanted to throw that out for the court because I know your schedule is very busy.
I'm not waiting. I'm not going to hold exams, wait and let you get transcripts and then start your exam. So that request is denied.
Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Choate, I'm in trial on the 13th and 14th of December already. I'd be unavailable. The 10th and 11th, the 30th and the 31st are fine for me, for Mr. Choate. The 7th and the 8th, I'm out of the state that whole week. So I would be unavailable February 7th and 8th.
Okay. Okay. And so Mr. Lennon, it sounds like you're available the 13th and 14th.
No, Your Honor, we're available the 10th and the 11th, but I could probably, I cannot make the February dates work or the December dates because of other commitments in federal court. But if I had to go the 30th and 31st, I could move some things. But the 10th and 11th, January 30th, 31st would be the dates for Mr. Vanderwood, Your Honor.
Okay. So sounds like we're going the 30th and the 31st for this set of co-defendants.
Your Honor, Kurt Kraus again.
Yes, Mr. Kraus.
I apologize, Your Honor. I think the 30th and 31st are going to be problematic for us only because Ms. Chartier is scheduled to be in a trial starting on the 30th. The dates that work for us are December 13th and 14th, but also January 11th and 10th and 11th.
Okay, so you get your defendant can join the group that's going December 13th, 14th.
Very good, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll put her that matter on for December 13th, 14th. The other matters will continue to exam January 30th and 31st at 8:30 in the morning in person at the court. Should we find that additional time is needed, I'm not going to reset it for that purpose. We're just going to continue it to a new date.
Understood.
But it's way too cumbersome to try to keep resetting and realigning so many different professional calendars in addition to the court calendars. And I'm blocking off dockets for this. I could have had other exams go today, but I blocked this off over a month ago for today's purpose, and we're not doing it. So at this point, I expect it to run at that time unless the parties waive. Any additional matters for the record?
Yes, Judge, on behalf of Mr. Grote, Ms. Logan and I spoke. I have 2 motions that are currently scheduled to be heard this morning. I'd like to adjourn those to a future date. I don't know that doing it January 30th or the 31st would be smart. I don't mind doing it prior to the exam starting on December 13th or 14th, but I'll leave that to the court's discretion in terms of which date you'd like to assign to us. I'll make any date work.
Okay, yeah, we'll set it for a date. There was no hearing set for a motion, just so we're clear.
And said to ask to move his office call and ask to move
To what date?
to whenever they can.
Okay, yeah, I think your office had already called and asked to be moved, so it's not showing up on my docket for today. So
good.
we can get you a date. What time is the hearings on the 13th, 14th?
I have them right at 8.
At 8:30? Okay.
8:30, Your Honor.
We can have your motion at 8 AM.
Very good, Judge.
on the-
Thank you.
On the 13th. No problem.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. Any additional matters for today's record?
Just so that the court's record's clean on this too. Mr. Grote waives formal appearance in person. We agree to appear by Zoom. I didn't say that at the beginning, but I make it a practice generally.
Very good. I think by the nature of you appearing via Zoom per your request, it was not ordered. You waived that. I didn't order anyone to appear via Zoom.
I just don't want the record to ever be messed up. So I appreciate it. Thanks, Judge.
Very good. Any additional
Nothing-
matters for today's
Nothing further, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Vanderwood. Thank you.
Nothing for Ms.
Further on-
Rose. Thank you.
Nothing further on behalf of Mr. Haggard, Your Honor. Thank you.
We have nothing else, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Choate.
No, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Rodriguez.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.
Same to
Thank
you,
you.
Judge, and your
Same to you,
staff.
Judge.